guys, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. To start, Eddie, you came off of a production of Cabaret both in London and here, and then went into a role where he is kind of a chameleon and can change what he looks like in order to get into buildings or make the kill whatever he needs to do. How did that theater backing help you when you're crafting a character that does constantly change how people perceive him?
Oh, what a great question. One of the weirdest things was I'd done cabaret in London, and as you say, the character in that kind of shape
Yeah.
shifts a wee bit. And the odd thing about doing theatre is every night, quite extraordinary people from different parts of whether it's sort of politics or the royal family or celebrities would come and see the show and you sort of meet them, and I had this idea that I was playing with of a TV series in which it's an actor who is sort of almost like something espionage but hiding in plain sight because you have access to all these sort of people who are doing things. Just as I had that thought, these scripts arrived in my inbox, and I also realized that it was kind of a bit like Lupin was the other person, the other. Anyway, so it was an odd thing in which I feel like this series somehow manifested itself. But what you're talking about, the idea of one of the joys and the attractions of the scripts were process was the fact that you in this version of the Jackal, he kind of is an actor, and he's pretty good at mimicking and confusing and pulling it off. And what I was curious to do was to go into the craft. So you watch the prosthetics, you watch the kind of movement shift, you see the dialects and the languages, and thought like peeking behind the curtain was kind of intriguing because it's a part of our job that I find interesting.
Yeah. And Lashana, I love kind of the reverse of No Time to Die and this, because in No Time to Die, she is a double O agent and she will kick your ass and you recognize that almost instantly. And something like this, it is all kind of analytical, especially in the beginning. And it's just like she's using her intelligence and her strength to kind of get information. How was it for you kind of getting to see both sides of a very similar coin in both projects?
I love that you asked that question because that was both my fascination and intrigue about the role, but also my fear about the role, that there would be some kind of comparison. This was before I'd read the first three episodes, a comparison in like two MI6 agents and, both in London and like, trying to get the guy. And I realized actually that here we get to dive like a lot deeper because you have 10 episodes to do so. To really get into the psychology and the trouble that this character um, insists on stringing around constantly. Like it's just in her to cause a little bit of mayhem, whether it be being the slightly annoying one in the workplace, which I think might be relatable for some, and there being someone at work that's just like always driven, always got the questions, always like pushing themselves into a meeting, or whether it be her balancing the work life and home life, which I think is an important conversation when it pertains to women who do both and who balance and juggle and also have a obsessive streak that takes them out of themselves somewhat, but also brings them into a place where they feel valued by their workforce. It's quite strange that the obsessive nature is what makes her feel most like a human being, but somehow that's what's worked for her and is what is going to help her get the guy. So after reading the first three episodes and then getting into the conversations with our brilliant first plot director, Brian Kirk, I just thought, oh wow, this person is just so different. Like, couldn't be more far removed from Nomi, and we get to stay with her and live with her and sit with the complications and the complexities that she brings.
Yeah. And for my last quick dumb question, I want to ask
I love a quick question.
as two people who both emotionally wrecked me in musical movie adaptations, I just want to know if you had to put one musical song to this show, do you have any idea what song it would be?
um,
Well,
From a musical or a song?
Any song. We'll
Any
open it up.
song.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
any
mean,
song.
the one from the trailer is pretty bang on, the Radiohead one, because it's about
Mhm.
everything being in the right place, about that kind of meticulousness, and again, the repetition of it's quite obsessive. But let's try and think of one from the musical theatre canon.
Oh my gosh. I have one, but it's not musical theatre.
Money Makes the World Go Round for the Jackal.
Okay, that would be the one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is Firestarter.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's perfect. Firestarter the musical is exactly what they both represent.
That is genius.
Yeah.
That is perfect. Thank you guys so much for talking with me today, and I really appreciate it. And I can't wait for everyone to get to see the Day of the Jackal.
Thank you so
very
much.
much.
You guys have a great
Bye.
one. Bye.